Hey, we're going to do something a little different today. I'm taking you into my resin laboratory. For when I have to resin things, really, I'm just underneath a table that is covered in a drop cloth in an extremely well ventilated room. All right, let's see if I can get a shot. This is going to be crazy. Boop. Hey, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Okay. All right. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, I have 30 minutes of working time on this. I'm using art resin, and we are going to be very careful because I'm only resining the blue. I'm only resining the ocean. The sand, which has been made with a pumice stone gel that's been added to my paints, that has already been varnished with traditional varnish to finish it off. And I don't want it to be all covered in glass like the water. So, allons-y. And I'm procrastinating. Okay, here we go. I don't want to get too close to the sand at first because I don't want the resin to run over it. So, and I'm not completely convinced I leveled properly. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of things working against me right now, not the least of which is the fact that my resin is really bubbly. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of work to take those bubbles out. I guess we're lucky that oceans are frothy. Okay. I don't know how much talking I'm going to do to explain what I'm doing while I'm doing this because I'm a little freaked out by the process today. Just remember, when you're pouring resin, don't pour all the way to the end of your cup. Keep some in your cup because sometimes it's not mixed as well at the bottom, and that's when you can get really cloudy resin, and that's no fun. So we're just going to start very delicately teasing this resin towards the shore here. Man, I sound like I'm running a marathon. This room is well ventilated as well as air conditioned, but it's like 30 degrees here in Alberta. For any of you who follow me, you know that I live in Edmonton, Alberta, actually. And it's been going through a heat wave. In fact, we had to evacuate a town called Jasper in the mountains to the west of me here because the forest fires have gotten so bad that it roared right up to the town last night. So all those people who were out there camping and the people who actually live in Jasper full time all had to be evacuated, and they all had to be evacuated west into British Columbia. So things aren't great. I know you're like, geez Louise, Nicole, I'm on the internet to be cheered up, not to be told about forest fires. But yeah, so I think that's why I've been in such an ocean mood. Nice, cool blue ocean. So what I'm doing is I'm very carefully and as patiently as I can. I know I'm on a timeline, but I'm working towards the edges. You'll also see that on this painting, I did not create a well with painter's tape around my edges. I will have resin on the sides up here where the water is, but it'll be very thin. I'm going to just use my hands to spread just a quick coat of shine after I get everything placed here. I just don't want, you see, if the resin goes over the side right now, it's just gonna follow it and it'll just start dripping off the sides. And I need to make sure I have the resin where I want it in the important places on this painting before I continue. If you're wondering what type of resin I'm using I'm using art resin. I find that art resin is really forgiving. So if any of you have never experimented with resining a painting, and no, I'm not endorsed by art resin or anything, I just find it's really forgiving. It's like most resins, it's a 50-50 ratio, 50% resin, 50% hardener. But I find if you don't get your ratios exact, your resin will still harden. Now, I mean, don't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and have it way off. But you know, if you're off by a little bit, and I also find if I'm off by a little bit, but I have slightly more hardener than resin, then everything hardens up, no problem. But do try to be precise. The more precise you can be, the more successful your application will be. Now, it's funny, 30 minutes can feel, when you first look at it, like a lot of working time. But holy smokes, when I'm doing something like this, and when I know I'm gonna have to do a lot of bubble cleanup, which is gonna take time, 30 minutes goes by real fast. Really fast. And the nice thing is though, is because I'm constrained to a timeline, at least I know I won't be late picking my kid up. He's in summer camp right now. And I am notorious for getting all locked into a project and focused on a project and then being like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to pick him up. And being, you know, that parent, the one who's always late. Okay. Normally, I'd be working during the day at my day job, but I'm currently in between jobs. And I thought, well, oh my God, what a gift. I am definitely going to use this to make sure I can get all of the painting done that, oh, I'm just going to tease this in, please, 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 that I want to get done as I've been building my new website. It's up. If you just go to DeVoePaintings.com, you'll see the Paintings by DeVoe website, and I've got some new pieces up for sale there that I'm super proud of. The dragon I was working on, she's up and she looks so good. This piece will be up for sale once the resin dries, so you can expect to see this piece pop up on the website for sale within the next week or so. As you can see, oh boy. So any of you who've seen me paint in oil, which is interestingly enough, it's so bizarre, right? I paint in oil and my paintings are the exact opposite of the ones I do in acrylic, right? In oil painting, I do portraits and I do landscapes. But oil, I like to say, is a master class in patience, because you need to know when you can be wet on wet and when you need to let things settle and oxidize so that you don't make mud. And honest to God, I'm going to say that resin, if you're doing a big piece of precision work, is also an exercise in patience. I don't usually post like completely unedited videos, but you know, I might just let this one run the full length of 30 minutes as I just sit here and I talk to you. I'd love to hear your comments. I absolutely adore getting comments, and I love being able to answer questions that you might have about what I'm doing or why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. If I don't know the answer to a question, as I like to say, I can go find out, just because I to the best of my ability. I like to make sure you know the difference of when I'm sharing an opinion about something and when I'm sharing what I think to be good source information. The world moves pretty fast. Technology changes really, really quick too. And you are certainly never done learning, are you? There's so much more to learn. There's so much more out there. Oh my God, the art world has changed so incredibly. The ability we have to create non-toxic colors, not having to work in pure turpentines. Oh my gosh, you can always smell turpentine in my grandma's studio. And in my studio, nothing. I try to stay as toxic free as I possibly can. As I sit here under a table with resin, but this resin here is pretty good. There's not a lot of fumes happening on this particular resin. Plus, like I mentioned earlier, I am in a well-ventilated room. Oh my gosh, I am just teasing the edge of my sand. Oh. I'm gonna have to look at my watch soon. See how many minutes I've already used up. So let's do that right now. Whew, that goes by quick. Okay. I got about 15 minutes left. Maybe. We shall see. One of the other things is not only do I want to make sure I get this right to the edge of the sand where I want it, I am really hoping, good gosh, language arts are a skill, children. And to think I write plays and stuff. Maybe I should not be trusted with a pen. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh well. Oh, I want to make sure there's, to the best of my ability, I can do this one and done, and that there aren't going to be any pinholes in the resin, because I do want the layer of resin on this ocean to be relatively thin. I don't want to have to sand it, right? I don't want to have to sand it and then come back in and do another big thick layer. I'm worried if I do that, then I'll have to resin the sand, and I really don't want to resin the sand. Okay, and we're over the edge. Okay, where are we at? Okay, we're popping to the edges now. I'm going to start letting things run a little bit. Just want to make sure I've actually got coverage. Oh, the other thing you should know, this stuff's self-leveling, which, oh, what a gift. What a gift. Self-leveling, which also helps it be really forgiving. Okay. Ooh. The other thing, before you resin a canvas, which is always a good idea, is make sure you've run some rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol over the canvas to remove any grease. That will help prevent pinholes from forming. And speaking of holes, because we all know what happens if there's bubbles, we're going to start taking the bubbles out. And we're just going to do that. This spray bottle right here, this is not water. It's rubbing alcohol. And what that's going to do is that's going to break the surface tension on the resin and allow the bubbles to escape. You know, I did my math for the amount of resin I need for this, and it feels a little short. I think this might be a thinner coat of resin than I originally intended. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay, what am I going to do about that? How am I going to fix that? Wile E. Coyote's super genius. Okay, the other thing, when you're resining, make sure you have a toothpick on hand in case any little dusties get in there while you're working. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm putting my hands right in there. I am not wearing one pair of gloves. I am actually wearing 2 pairs of gloves. This enables me to be able to rip a pair off if things get out of control. And I swear, every time I do something like this, things get out of control. That's me. Always in control. I always find it so funny that I actually have a tendency to kind of lean on the type A side of the equation when so much of my life is actually just kind of lived in chaos. Like, I'm really good in a crisis. Like, if something's gonna go wrong, like, you want me there. But man, if you give me a menu and tell me I have to make a decision about what I'm gonna eat for supper, I'm probably gonna panic. So yeah, so I'm good on the big stuff, not so hot on the normal day-to-day human stuff. Okay, so, hi. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking sideways at all the different angles as the next layer of bubbles has popped up. And we're just gonna sit and we're gonna just let that be. I think I have managed to hit all my edges that I wanted to hit. Oh, I'm so scared of saying that out loud. And now I'm just waiting to see if it looks like there's going to be dimples or pinpricks that pop up in here, or if there's little, like there's a dimple right there, right there. So I'm going to scrape off the side. Very carefully fill that dimple with resin, stop it in its tracks. I'm also going to be scraping the sides. So that the resin doesn't all run off. Like I said, I really, if I can, would like this to be a one and done. No, I'm not gonna have as much runoff as I might normally because I made such a tiny amount of resin, perhaps too tiny an amount of resin. That fly, so help me God, if that fly lands in this resin. Don't, there's a fruit fly in here. Oh my God, there's a fruit fly in here. You little son of a motherless, nameless goat. I get that you did. Oh my God, it did. You, come here. Oh, you God, what a horrible death. Oh, look at that. Poor guy. What a terrible way to die. I mean, maybe I should have kept him, and in the next life I can use him and recreate tigers. It'll be, you know, the futuristic version of Jurassic Park, the mosquitoes stuck in the resin, the fruit fly stuck in my water. Yeah. There's also a couple of gherkins in here. So even though I'm going to cover this whole thing with a drop cloth, dust can still get in. You know, you do your best to keep the dust out, but there's only so much you can do. What time is it? Oh boy, what time is it? I think I'm running out of working time. Oh, good. I still have a little bit of working time. Good. Okay, so things are coming along. things are coming along. I'm changing where I'm looking. I know this is probably the most boring part for you. Maybe I'll edit all this out. Part of me was like, no, just leave it. It's like 30 minutes of their day. That's nothing. Watch me. Oh my God. Watch me end up going to move the camera when I go to leave this and drop the camera right in my frickin' ocean. I can see it. I could see it happening. If you're wondering what all this little like fiddling is I'm finding pinholes that are waiting to be formed. Now you might be like, why aren't you using a heat gun? And I will use a heat gun. Well, actually I'm gonna use a blowtorch. But the thing is if you keep blowtorching the resin, the tendency to sit on a really stubborn bubble to try to pop it out kicks in, and you can end up burning your resin, and that doesn't do you long term, that doesn't do you any good. So I find in general, if I can just use alcohol, I get a much better result. As it breaks the surface. I don't know if that's a bubble or if that's a goober. It's like the question of my life. Are you a hair or are you a bubble? Hair or bubble? Hair or bubble? What are you? Hair. Oh, the exciting life of an artist, huh? Poking bubbles. Nancy drew in the case of them. Is it a hair or is it a bubble? Quick, somebody call a detective. There better not be any more fruit flies. I will be so sad if at the end of all this, there's gonna be a fruit fly. There's a hair. Gosh. Oh, I also have pets. Oh my gosh, I have a cat and a dog, and you want torture when you're trying to like resin a project? Pets. Pets are torture. There's so much animal hair in the house. Like, it is amazing to me that I ever get anything successfully done. All right, here you go. Your blowtorch dreams are about to come true. Gotta be quick. You gotta be quick. You do not want to burn your resin. And I found another hair. Isn't that exciting? Boop. Come here, you. You know what, friends? That might be it. That might be it. I think we are gonna let her sit, and we're just gonna let her dry, and then we'll see what happens when it's all said and done. Okay. All that remains is for me to let this dry. I've actually got another 5 minutes of working time on this bad boy, but what I am gonna do for that 5 minutes is I'm going to just let it sit and settle, and I'm gonna come back with one more blowtorch in case there are any bubbles, and then I'm gonna fold over the rest of my drop cloth stuff here, and we're gonna call her ready to just sit, and then we'll find out what she looks like when I put her on the website later. Okay, so that's it. This is me. This is, oh, that's a terrible angle. There we go. That's better. Like we care about angles right now. I have not put my oil painting up on the website yet, but it's coming soon. I have to go get a bunch of stuff like hung and back framed and things. So anywho, have a great day. Feel free to ask me anything in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, mwah, bye.